And good afternoon. I am Chuck Roberts for the West Virginia Channel, a service of West Virginia Public Broadcasting. We appreciate you joining us once again for our live coverage of the 83rd Legislative Session, as we are now in a special session called for by Governor Jim Justice. This special session has been brought forward to address issues dealing with the budget, not the budget exactly itself, but bills that would help raise funds for the budget. He's brought forth 5 bills to do so. One dealing with revenue, the other dealing with road funding, 2 actually dealing with road funding, and 1 for teacher pay raises. The House is just about ready to gavel in for the day, so we will be shortly taking you there. And we go now to the House of Delegates in Charleston, West Virginia. Once again, we are bringing you live coverage of this special session of the 83rd Legislature here in West Virginia. The House of Delegates has gathered. They're about to go in to deal with the bills that put forth by the governor to deal with revenue for the state's budgetary issues. Bill 1, revenue, deals with income tax reduction, military retirement exemption, consumer sales tax, corporate net income tax, wealthy West Virginia tax, coal severance tax reform, gas severance tax reform, and a historical tax credit. Bill number 2 deals with road funding, a gasoline tax, and possibility of DMV fees. Bill number 3 deals with road funding and the parkways authorities. This would be the tolls on the section of road that is 6477 between Charleston and just past the Beckley area. And Bill number 4 deals with teacher pay raises. That would be a 2% raise for classroom teachers. We are waiting for the Speaker of the House, Tim Arnstead, to gavel in and bring the House to order. Delegates have gathered, and we are about ready to go in. Appreciate you watching the West Virginia Channel, a service of West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Good afternoon once again. I'm Chuck Roberts for the West Virginia Channel, a service of West Virginia Public Broadcasting. We're in a holding pattern here in the House as Speaker Armstead has gathered and delegates continue to gather in the House of Delegates. They are gathering to take up issues brought forth by Governor Jim Justice in this special session, all working towards the budget. The budget has not been brought up. It's actually these other bills dealing with revenue towards the budget. We appreciate you waiting here on the West Virginia Channel.
House will be in order. All those not having privileges to the floor will please vacate the chamber. Clerk has a message from the Senate.
Senators Bozo, Klein, and Jeffries from the committee on behalf of the Senate announced that the Senate has assembled with a quorum present and is ready to proceed with the business of the session.
Message will be received. Bills introduced.
House Bill 101. The following bills are introduced pursuant to Rule 92. House Bill 101, raising salaries for classroom teachers.
Clerk, the bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
House Bill 102, increasing DMV fees and motor fuel excise taxes.
Bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
House Bill 103, relating generally to the West Virginia Parkways Authority.
Bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
House Bill 104, relating generally to taxation.
Gentleman for the 58th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent the committee reference be dispensed with and bill be taken up for immediate consideration and read a first time.
Gentleman for the 58th, ask unanimous consent that the committee reference be dispensed with, the bill be taken up for immediate consideration and read a first time. For what purpose, gentleman for the 48th?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know historically that when that has been done, that you've given the opportunity to have amendments made on third reading. Do you intend to continue that precedent?
So the gentleman, I believe what we've done is when we have taken it up for, when it's come out of committee in that method, we've done that. But I think we would certainly be willing to do amendments on third if that's necessary in order to make up for the day that would be lost.
Okay, thank you.
Clerk, read the bill first time.
House Bill 104.
Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman for the 58th.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Rule House 103, I move the bill be rejected on first reading.
Gentleman for the 58th moves that the bill be rejected on first reading. Request for the House is shall the bill be rejected. Is there discussion? If not, all in favor of rejecting the motion, roll call has been demanded. Is demand sustained? Demand is sustained. The question for the House is shall the bill be rejected? All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will close the machine and ascertain the result. On this question, 59 ayes, 36 nays, 5 members absent not voting. The majority of members present having voted in the affirmative, I declare the motion adopted. The bill is rejected. Unfinished business. Bills on third reading. Bills on second reading. Bills on first reading. Leaves of absence. Gentleman from the 58th.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. For our colleagues, delegates N. Foster, Hill, C. Miller, C. Romine, and R. Romine. Chuck is here.
Without objection, leaves will be granted. Remarks by members of the House. Gentleman from the 62nd, Delegate Overton.
For the purpose of the second order of business, for the purpose of introductions.
Without objection, gentleman may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, from Berkeley County, we have two representatives. We have former delegate Patrick Murphy, who served back in the 1980s, a long time ago. And we have our superintendent, Manny Arvon, both from Berkeley County. Would they please stand and the House make them welcome?
John from the 42nd, Delegate Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Very briefly, I rise to address the fifth item on our call, which is legislator pay for the special session. Now, I'm a new legislator. I don't have any idea how long we're going to be here. I've heard a day, I've heard 2 days, I've heard weeks. I have no clue. But I think the one thing that we could take off the table right now, so as not to confuse any issues, is the cost of legislative pay for the special session. We all know not only is it wasteful, but it's a distraction from the real issue. The real issue is that we've got a serious budget problem that we need to tackle, and that's passing a responsible budget. So this issue of how much the special session costs and whose fault it is just not necessary. It needs to be taken off the table right now so that we can focus on the real matter at hand. So I've introduced a bill to limit special session pay for legislators to 5 days. Germane to the call. It'll help us calm the anxieties that we're all feeling. You know, there's a lot going on here today. And most of all, it'll help us focus on the real issue, which is getting a responsible budget passed. So let's send a clear message that we are here to work and to work alone. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Further remarks by members. Miscellaneous business. John from the 58th.
Mr. Speaker, subject to announcements, I move the House adjourn until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Are there announcements? Lady from the 31st, Delegate Arvon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Government Organization will meet at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, May 5th, in the Government Organization Committee, room 215 East. The agenda has been posted, and donuts and coffee will be provided. Thank you.
Is that just for members? Further announcements. If not, the question for the House is the motion by the gentleman from 58th that the House stand adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. Ayes appear to have it. Yeah, I do have declare the House adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
And with that, the House has adjourned for the day. They should be coming back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. They've handled some of the business of the legislature to set some ground rules. Look for this to be up on the West Virginia Ledge channel tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you very much for joining us. We now return you to your previously scheduled program.